Before we start this video, I just want to take a moment to say a massive thank you to all of you who subscribed because my YouTube channel has finally reached 1,000 subscribers. So thank you all so much for the love and support to this channel, and I'm very grateful for your unwavering support and the incredible journey we have embarked on together. So, to celebrate this milestone, I've decided to do something that is very different from my other videos I've made over the last near 6 years on this YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a parody of CinemaSins, but instead of sinning a movie like Jeremy and the crew do at CinemaSins headquarters, I will be sinning their videos and pointing out everything that is wrong with what they're sinning. But as a disclaimer, just because I'm sinning CinemaSins, that doesn't mean I hate them. I really like them. I'm just going to be making fun of some of their mistakes, and this video will only be for entertainment purposes. It's not meant to be taken seriously. So once again, thank you for being a part of this journey on helping me reach this incredible milestone, and I look forward to sharing more exciting content with you guys and building an even stronger community as we continue to grow together. And if you like this video and want to see more of these in the future, click that subscribe button down below and be sure to turn on the channel post notifications so you don't miss any new upcoming videos, and make sure to smash that like button too. Now with that special message out of the way, enjoy the video.
Where have all the good men gone, and where are all gone? Where's the streetwise Hercules to fight the rising moon? Is there
Since when do you dance?
Fiona, my dearest, if there's one thing I know, it's that love is full of surprises.
late at night I toss and I turn and I dream of what I need.
Hit it! Go to school!
Jeremy yells at the screen cliche.
Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away,
Once upon a time, cliche in her reading.
Jeremy, this is a satire of fairy tales based on an actual book. This is legitimately how 99% of them begin in movie form, and 100% of us don't give a shit.
until the sun went down, and they saw that their daughter was cursed with a frightful enchantment.
Prince Charming got the revised copy of the story Shrek was reading in the outhouse at the beginning of the last film, because this is the exact same story, only with extra details.
Jeremy explains what is going on the screen cliche.
Traveling for many days and nights, risking life and limb to reach the Dragon's Keep.
Is it just me, or is it creepy that the prince traveled all this way just to get it on with a woman he doesn't even know, even though he's on a mission? I mean, I know we're a long way from Tinder, but this is pretty f***ing desperate.
I believe it's just you, Jeremy, because in most fairy tales with a princess, she near immediately falls in love with the first man she meets, and fairy tales are what this movie is a play on, and the franchise in general.
Also, nice pork illustrated joke, but this is taking a love of ham to a sexual extreme that I didn't know existed until I saw it in this kid's movie.
Animated movies are allowed to make adult jokes, since they would just fly over a kid's head, if you know what I'm saying.
Maybe I'm in love. Think about it every time I think about it.
Sure, it's not as objectionable as Smash Mouth's All-Star, but Counting Crows is the best you can do movie. It's 2004! Was Ashley Simpson not available?
Sinning accidentally in love? That's worth these many sins. I'm just kidding.
Mike Myers inadvertently invents a new category on Pornhub called ogering.
They are literally just kissing in this scene, Jeremy. So because of that crude, unfunny sexual joke, I'm gonna add 10 sins.
How did the ocean pull off this trick? And why did this mermaid harlot start immediately kissing Shrek when she was thrown into it? And does Fiona really think a mermaid wanted to f*** Shrek? I am so confused.
Okay, first of all, the ocean wasn't the cause of this being pulled off. It was just a huge wave. And second, this is meant to be a reference to The Little Mermaid.
In love. Accidentally in love.
Shrek movie is unable to hold in a fart joke for more than 5 minutes.
So, firstly, that was the case in the first movie. And secondly, crude humor is one of the 3 key elements to a successful DreamWorks movie, Jeremy. Come on!
With a moon this big, total eclipses should occur way more frequently and last longer than 2 minutes.
Yes, Jeremy. That's why there's this phenomenon called a supermoon.
We're supposed to believe these trumpet players walked the entire way from far, far away to Shrek Swamp, a distance that will be nauseatingly recreated in the next scene.
Even though the movie never shows how the messenger and the trumpeters got to Shrek's swamp, there is nothing in the scene that suggests that they walked there.
But they're my parents, Shrek. They love me.
They love you so much, they put you in a fucking castle thousands of miles away, guarded by a dragon, and only by the luckiest of circumstances could you ever return.
Harold and Lillian wanted to do what was best for Fiona, and the fairy godmother encouraged them to do just that, which is part of her master plan.
They just want to give you their blessing.
Now I need their blessing?
Jesus, what was the point of the first movie if Shrek's just gonna reboot to being a sandy butthole, just so he can learn to open up again?
That's not the point. The point is, Shrek is skeptical about going because people have judged him as an ogre his entire life. So, Jeremy Sin's characterization cliche.
This song, originally titled F*** Off, was written by Nile Rodgers after being denied entrance to Studio 54, and Mike Myers played Steve Rubell in the movie about Studio 54. All this to say, this is the only interesting pop culture reference in this movie, and I'm 99% certain it was unintentional.
2 sins. One for a sin that has nothing to do with this movie, and another for you being a channel that's essentially 30% pop culture references and hates it when other movies use them.
Are we there yet?
It's easy for me to say this goes on for some time because this Are We There Yet bullshit goes on forever. So, because it's an overlong joke wrapped loosely by a cliche, I'm gonna add 5 cents.
Sinning Are We There Yet? That's worth these many sins.
Also, if I didn't live through it, you would have never convinced me that this movie made nearly $1 billion worldwide, and was once the 3rd highest grossing film of all time.
The fact that you're stating that this movie was very successful, why is it something wrong with this movie?
It ain't no in-flight movie or nothing.
I would like Donkey to explain where in this world, flight, movies, and in-flight movies exist.
This is an animated fairy tale, Jeremy. I'm pretty sure anything is possible in an animated fairy tale.
Seriously, this movie is f***ing 82 minutes without counting the credits. I'm convinced the initial cut was 23 before they started adding shit like this.
Pretty sure it wasn't. How are you unaware that movies are over an hour?
The Kingdom of Far Far Away has a Burger Prince, but it's tucked away behind a whole bunch of other shops. Someone forgot to tell these assholes about the importance of location.
I don't think location really matters for this movie. Also, Jeremy points things out on the screen cliche.
I suppose that will be a fine place to raise the children.
Listen, if the movie continues to pad its runtime with overlong silliness like this, I will continue to sin that.
And if you continue to pad the sin counter with unnecessary sins like this, I will continue to sin you.
It's great, okay?
Well, for his type, yes.
This movie could have been some really subversive if Fiona had stayed a human princess. Perhaps a fun take on Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. But it sold out this couple in order to make more fart jokes.
Again, I'm pretty sure it didn't. Also, Fiona didn't stay human because of the Take Love's true form part of her curse.
Was this dinner with a full turkey, a lobster, a giant fish, and a pig really meant for 4 people, even if 2 of them are ogres?
Yes, this is a celebratory dinner, and people of royalty have large feasts.
So, what's new?
You remember my son, Prince Charming?
Charming.
Holy sh**. Prince Charming is fairy godmother's son? How the f*** did they f*** this up?
All the filmmakers did here was reverse the roles of Prince Charming and fairy godmother because in the original fairy tales they are good guys. And I guess they thought that Prince Charming being the son of the fairy godmother would be a nice evil addition.
The director said, let's make this tavern sign a bite out of an apple. It'll make it look like even more of an asshole.
2 things. First, the sign is a reference to Snow White. And second, don't you send characters for biting an apple?
Like my town with a little drop of poison.
Oh man, they dragged poor Tom Waits into this, didn't they?
Pretty sure Tom was happy to be a part of this movie and its soundtrack, not disappointed.
How the f*** did they hear that?
Yeah, I was confused at this scene too, Jeremy, so because of that, I'll remove a sin.
The fucking eels are on this soundtrack? The quality ratio of the music to the movie is approaching Purple Rain status.
This is a case where Jeremy sins something he likes because it's confirmed in his Shrek the Third video that he loves the eels.
Even though her alter ego is an ogre-looking being, Fiona's parents bought her a terrifying ogre toy when she was a kid.
Jeremy points things out on the screen cliche.
Sleeping Beauty is having a slumber party tomorrow.
That's a good joke, but was she really called Sleeping Beauty when she was a kid? And do all the fairy tale princesses live in the same era?
Yes, all the fairy tale princesses live in the same era since that is established in Shrek the Third.
I just really need to make things work with this guy.
But what you really need to be doing is making that Scottish accent reappear.
That's a weird thing to hear from your mouth, Jeremy, because you questioned Shrek being Scottish when you sinned the first movie.
Really starting to think that the script for this movie was like 13 original lines, and the rest was just references to other better movies.
While I can agree that the franchise does have a lot of pop culture references, I'm pretty sure there's more than just 13 original lines for this movie.
Also, the movie confirms the fact that ogres have testicles in the same place as humans, which is a question I didn't realize I had.
Actually, the first movie already confirmed that analysis, as evidenced by this scene here.
I implore you, it was nothing personal to you.
Puss in Boots is apparently such a badass that he's the one guy with a reputation of being an ogre killer, but he's defeated by Shrek picking him up by the back of the fucking neck. Damn it, this movie's stupid.
Jeremy calls this movie stupid. That's worth these many sins.
Think of the saddest thing that's ever happened to you.
I don't know, maybe hard to find a copy of The Adventures of Pluto Nash out here.
Jeremy says a random comment cliche.
Jesus Christ, the logic in this movie. This is supposed to be Fiona's fairy godmother. You're saying she appears for anyone that cries in the entire world?
Jeremy misunderstands a scene cliche. The fairy godmother's bubble is appearing for Shrek, Donkey, and Puss in Boots because they have her teardrop card.
A pinch of passion.
Hard to believe that a fairy godmother with this kind of power wasn't able to just turn Fiona into an all-day human with a simple little bit of magic. Charming would have married her, none of this would have happened.
Firstly, the fairy godmother wouldn't be able to do that because she's the villain. And secondly, it was believed that she was the one who cursed Fiona in the first place.
Puss, do you think you could get to those on top?
How does Shrek know what any of these do, let alone whether the ones on the top work on his particular problem?
That's the thing. Shrek doesn't know what any of the potions do, and all he's asking Puss to do is climb the shelves that he can't reach and read the potion labels to him.
These people are so bad at shooting, I'm shocked Donkey doesn't make a Stormtrooper reference.
He says while he's literally a guy who sends movies for pop culture references.
He will rue the very day he stole my kingdom from me!
The script of these movies have notes in the margins that say, when in doubt, do something involving gas or poop. Remember your George of the Jungle training.
That ain't always the case there, Jeremy.
Hey man, this don't feel right.
Donkey waits to object to this plan until after they've gone to the factory, broken in, stole the potion, and made their escape.
Donkey clearly did object to the plan while they were in the factory. If you were actually paying attention to that scene, you would know that.
Shrek, I think you grabbed the 40th after potion.
Have I mentioned this movie made nearly $1 billion?
Yes. Next.
I'm coming to listen.
Movie goes for that sweet Sanford & Sons nostalgia that drove kids wild back in 2004.
And this movie was released in 2004. Mr. PCRs are my thing.
It was a mistake to bring Shrek here. I'm gonna go out and find him, and then we're gonna go back to the swamp where we belong.
I guess she made this decision while thinking about her love for Shrek over the course of the day, even though she hasn't seen him since their unresolved argument last night. And the only thing she's discovered is that he abandoned her after reading her diary.
Jeremy explained something that we didn't see on screen cliche.
To make the effects of this potion permanent, the drinker must obtain his true love's kiss by midnight.
What a shitty potion if it has these kind of rules. I mean, the potion affected Fiona without her even drinking it. Shouldn't that already be proof of true love without a fucking kiss?
Well, the context of this is if they want the change to be permanent.
Also, how did Fairy Godmother know that Shrek would take the potion before getting back to the castle, setting up these shenanigans?
Jeremy manipulates a scene cliche. The part you cut out reveals that after the Fairy Godmother found out Shrek stole the potion, she stated that she could use that to her and Charming's advantage.
We're just going to have to come up with something smarter, that's all.
Pardon? Everything is accounted for, Fairy Godmother. Except for one potion.
What? Oh. I do believe we can make this work to our advantage. If you really love her, you'll let her go.
Wait, she fucking let him go? I mean, he could have said anything to get out of the room, then walked right back up to Fiona and won her back, right? Jesus, the silly conflicts this movie throws in for no reason are maddening.
Shrek was unable to do that because he was too heartbroken.
People just ain't no good.
Man, this cover of Jeff Buckley's Hallelujah sounds f***ed up.
No, it doesn't.
Can't believe you're gonna just walk away from the best thing that ever happened to you.
What choice do I have?
Lots! You could even tell Fiona about the mix-up and let her decide. Crazy, right?
Well, Shrek does do that later on after figuring out the ruse.
Thank you, Mother.
Mother!
Hey, mice, pass me a buffalo wing.
I can believe in magic and monsters and spells and potions, but I refuse to believe that this fucking gingerbread man can fully consume a chicken wing.
You're saying this in the context of a talking gingerbread man.
You'd be surprised how much I changed for your mother.
Change? He's completely lost his mind.
Let's back up a second. All we've seen is Fiona talking to Prince Charming one time. And yes, things were a little off, but we haven't seen any other interaction between these two that would sell the fact that Prince Charming makes a horrible Shrek.
Well, Harold did say this.
Well, I'm afraid Fiona isn't really warming up to Prince Charming.
What what the movie doesn't show is the giant gingerbread man smashing up the poor Muffin Man's house after he agreed to this stupid plan.
But Mongo is a good guy, so why would he destroy the home of his creator?
You know, I'm glad this movie didn't get made past the year 2008, or else we would have had DreamWorks looking for a Gingerbread Man versus Pillsbury Doughboy franchise. Throw in the Jolly Green Giant and Mothra while you're at it.
Jeremy says a random comment cliché.
Wait a minute, if the spell the fairy godmother shot towards Shrek bounced off the king's armor, then how did it change him into a frog?
Well, Harold was originally a frog, which is based on the Frog Prince, and the fairy godmother made him human, so the spell wore off when she died.
Is this what you want? To be this way forever?
It's not so much what she wants, but what the studio and the people paying to see Shrek movies want.
It is about what Fiona wants. Shrek changed his entire form for her because he was worried that he would lose her to Prince Charming.
As I see the exact same transformation that I saw in the last movie, I just had a thought. This movie's no different from the original. It's about Fiona accepting who Shrek is, denying another prince a chance to marry her, and changing into an ogre in the end, with a few extra characters sprinkled in.
While I can agree that those bits are similar, this movie has a different storyline than its predecessor, and the transformation in this movie is different than the first one. Yes, it does go from blue to gold, but the one in the first movie had more dust than this one.
All by myself.
Haha, you thought mid-credit scenes were a Marvel creation, but Shrek's the real culprit for this cultural abomination.
Jeremy calls mid-credit scenes a cultural abomination. That's worth these many sins.
Great, now I'm going to be thinking all day about how a donkey gets his penis into a dragon vagina.
Jeremy makes an inappropriate comment cliché.